Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we've gone through a lot of material, mostly from a really focused senior wellness video, to zero in on what might be the single best exercise you can do.
Yeah.
We are talking about the plank, and specifically why, if you're over 50, it is, well, it's arguably the smartest 5 minutes you can spend on your health each day.
And that's really the mission here. We're trying to push back on this idea that you have to do these hard, complicated workouts to stay strong.
Right.
The reality is, after 50, your body needs smarter workouts, not harder ones.
Mm-hmm.
And the plank, well, it requires no equipment, no gym, no complex moves, just 5 minutes a day.
And we're going way beyond just, aesthetics or core strength. We're diving into how this one simple hold can help prevent hernias, relieve that chronic back pain so many people feel, and even give your metabolism a little boost. But I think the biggest one, and the one that really surprised me, is how it drastically reduces your chances of falling. That's about independence.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate payoff for such a small time commitment. We're going to look at the anatomy, what's actually happening inside your body, and connect it to those real-world benefits you can start to feel almost right away.
Okay, let's unpack this. So let's start with the core itself. I think when most people hear core strength, they immediately picture a six-pack.
Right.
But the research we've looked at frames it completely differently. It's more like the body's natural internal security system.
That's the perfect way to put it. It's a key mental shift. After 50, your core isn't about vanity, it's about structure. It holds up your spine, it stabilizes you when you move, and it protects your internal organs.
And when those muscles get weak,
Everything else has to pick up the slack, and that's where you get instability, compensation, and eventually injury.
which leads us right into one of the most common issues that comes from that weakness. The hernia. I think a lot of people have experienced this, that little bulge in the lower abdomen when you, say, lift a heavy box or even just cough too hard.
It's incredibly common, yeah, especially in men over 50 and women after menopause.
So why is the plank the answer here? Why not just do, hundreds of crunches?
Because it's all about the depth of the muscles you're hitting. Crunches, they work the superficial muscles, the ones you see.
Mirror muscle.
Exactly, the mirror muscles. A plank, though, is a masterclass in engaging the deep stabilizing muscles.
Yeah.
Specifically, we're talking about the transverse abdominis and the internal obliques.
Ah, okay, so those are the ones that act like a corset, right?
Precisely. It's your body's natural belt. It wraps around your midsection and pulls that abdominal wall inward, holding everything tight and secure.
So you're basically reinforcing the wall from the inside out.
You are. And when you do that consistently, the immediate wins are huge. You get better posture, you take pressure off your lower back, and you even improve digestion because your intestines are properly supported. It's all functional.
Foundational, really. Okay, let's shift to the thing that, it seems to affect almost everyone over 50, back pain. The number we saw was that over 80% of adults in this age group report regular back pain. If you recognize that dull ache after sitting for a while, or you have to kind of push yourself up from a chair, you know exactly what we're talking about.
And that pain is so often misunderstood. People think, oh, I have a bad back, like it's a bone issue. But very often it's actually a muscle issue. It's weakness and imbalance.
So the spine is just taking on stress that the muscles are supposed to handle.
That's it. It pulls you out of alignment and creates all this tension. The plank addresses this by firing up the erector spinae muscles.
Okay, what are those?
They're the muscles that run right up and down your spine. Think of them like guide wires on a tent pole. They hold everything upright and stable. When you engage them at the same time as your deep core, you hold your spine in a perfectly neutral, strong position.
And the key advantage here, which I found fascinating, is that it does this without compression.
That is the game changer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unlike squats or even sit-ups that can load the spine, a plank trains your entire back structure in the safest possible way. It's like a little realignment session every single day. And the data we saw suggests most people feel real relief in the first, 7 to 10 days.
That fast, that's a huge motivator.
It is.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because that relief, it connects to confidence. And posture is a huge part of that. It's all those muscles, the deep core, the mid-back, the shoulders working together.
As we get older, we sit more, and gravity just kind of pulls our shoulders forward. We get that rounded, hunched look. But when you strengthen those deep postural muscles, you start carrying yourself differently, almost without thinking about it.
There was that great anecdote we found about a 60-year-old viewer.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing. Her coworkers came up to her after about 3 weeks and asked if she'd lost weight, or, get this, if she'd gotten taller.
Wow, and she hadn't done anything else.
Nothing. She just realigned her frame by planking every day.
Yeah.
She was literally standing taller, and that changed how people saw her and, more importantly, how she felt. It's fitness is dignity. I love that.
Okay, let's move on to benefit number 2, which is a big one, the battle with metabolism. After 50, things slow down, muscle mass decreases, hormones shift.
Yeah.
It can feel like belly fat is just impossible to get rid of.
It's a real challenge.
So how does just holding still fight back against that?
Well, the plank is what's called a compound isometric exercise. Compound means you're using a ton of different muscle groups all at once.
Your core, shoulders, glutes, legs.
All of them. And isometric just means the muscle is under tension without moving. Your brain is telling dozens of muscles to fire and hold all at the same time.
And just holding that tension must burn a lot of energy.
A ton. That huge muscle recruitment creates a major metabolic demand. It leads to something called the afterburn effect, or EPOC.
Okay, break that down.
It just means that even after you're done with your planks, your body keeps burning calories at a higher rate for hours. It's working to recover and replenish the energy you used. You're essentially building metabolic momentum for the rest of your day.
So it's not just the 5 minutes you're exercising.
Not at all. But there's an even deeper link here, which is insulin sensitivity.
Right. This is so important.
Absolutely. When you strengthen those deep core muscles, your body gets better at responding to insulin. That means you're more efficient at processing sugars from your food and less likely to store them as a visceral fat.
And that's the really dangerous fat, the stuff that's deep inside around your organs.
That's the one. And the results can be pretty dramatic. We saw one report from a guy who moved his belt notch in 2 holes.
2 holes in just 30 days.
In 30 days from just daily planking. It's not just about surface tone. You're changing your body's internal chemistry.
That's incredible. Okay, let's talk about what might be the single most critical benefit for maintaining your quality of life as you age. Balance and fall prevention. The statistic is frankly terrifying. 1 out of every 4 Americans over 65 falls each year. And those falls can be devastating.
It's often the beginning of a loss of independence, which is what everyone fears. And this is where the plank's functional strength is it's unmatched. Falls aren't just an old age thing. They happen because of a weak core and, crucially, weak stabilizer muscles.
Okay, so when we lift weights, we're usually thinking about the big muscles, right? The biceps, the quads. You're saying planks target the smaller, often ignored ones.
That's exactly it. They're the tiny behind-the-scenes muscles, the ones around your hips, your ankles, your spine. A plank forces them all to turn on and work together.
So they're the muscles that catch you.
They're the ones that catch you. They fire instinctively when you trip on a rug or step off a curb funny. They're your body's rapid response team.
You're training your reactive defense system.
You are. And again, the results come fast. We saw a story from a woman in her early 70s who said that after just 2 weeks of planking, she stopped wobbling when she stood up. She didn't have to grab the kitchen table for support anymore.
That's priceless. Just that simple confidence in moving around your own home.
It's everything.
Okay, that brings us to the how. We've sold the why, now we need the smart way to actually do it. The goal is 5 minutes a day, but that sounds like, well, torture if you're a beginner.
Yeah, we have to be really clear here. You do not hold one single 5-minute plank. Please don't do that. Okay. That's just asking for bad form and injury. The smart way is to break it up. The goal could be, say, 5 sets of 1 minute each.
With rest in between.
Yes, with 30 to 60 seconds of rest in between. Or if you're just starting out, maybe 3 sets of 30 seconds. The mantra is consistency over intensity. always.
And form. What are the absolute non-negotiables? What's the biggest mistake people make?
The hips.
Mhm.
Almost always the hips. People either let them sag down toward the floor, which puts a ton of strain on the lower back,
Mhm.
or they pike them up too high, which basically turns it into a yoga pose and takes the work off the core.
So you want a straight line.
A perfectly straight line, like a board from your heels to the top of your head, and keep your shoulders right over your elbows. And breathe. Don't hold your breath.
What about modifications? If someone can't even do 30 seconds, is dropping to the knees still effective?
Oh, absolutely. Starting on your knees is a fantastic modification. It reduces the load, but you're still forcing those deep core and posterior muscles to fire up. You can even do it leaning against a countertop. The point is to maintain the tension and the straight line. You're training the muscle memory.
That makes it so much more accessible. But we have to talk about safety. When should someone not be doing this?
This is critical.
Mhm.
Look, if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, a recent back or shoulder injury, or if you already have a diagnosed abdominal hernia, you need to talk to your doctor first. Period.
Right.
And for everyone else, listen to your body. Technique over time, if you feel any sharp pain, dizziness, numbness, stop. A smart workout is always a safe workout.
So the real takeaway from this deep dive is it's that 5 minutes a day is an investment where it really, really matters. Your core, your spine, your balance. It's not trendy, but it directly addresses the needs of an aging body. And it just works.
The beauty is the simplicity, and the cumulative effect is so profound. This one little habit can make the difference between your back aching after gardening and feeling fine. It makes getting up from a low chair feel easy again. It's about protecting your mobility for the long haul.
And the sources we reviewed really emphasize that your only job is to show up consistently. Your body does the rest. It's strength built through patience, not brute force.
Exactly. So maybe think about this. The lesson here is that profound physical change doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be consistent. So imagine 3 months from now, you notice you're walking a little taller, you feel more solid on your feet, that nagging backache is mostly gone. That confidence came from one quiet, simple commitment. So what are you doing with those 5 minutes right now? Maybe scrolling on your phone. What if you swap that for something that invests in your own stability and your own dignity? Just start small, stay with it, and let time do the work for you.